look at me dead in the eyes with tears rolling down his fucking face. Knowing me, literally, I'm gonna have to show a picture of me whenever I was 6 years old. But I was like, he's known me since I was like as tall as my fucking knee.
Oh,
He's like, Laura,
I thought
I'm
you
in
said
love with
she
you.
was sick.
And I was like, oh, I love you too. And he's like, no, I mean, I'm in love with you.
Alright, so growing up in my foster home, basically, this is my room right here. You see that window right there? You see that room through that window? That was my room.
I was adopted by a white family when I was 6 months old in 1997.
I literally don't even know where to start, but I'm probably gonna start with the most traumatic, which my adopted dad, like, that was the most traumatic. And get this, listen, okay, so when he came over to my apartment to tell me that day, he like rang me up and he called me and he's like, hey, can I like come over and talk to you? And I was like, okay, sure. Had a gut feeling. Think that I'm crazy? Swear to God. Had a gut feeling. Get off the phone with him. I'm anticipating his arrival. I'm like peeping through the blinds. I have this gut feeling. I'm sick to my stomach. Then I hear, I go sit down, hear the car door slam. Go look out the window, see him walking up. I know what the fuck he's gonna say. I know what he's going to say. And you're like, oh, Laura, how'd you know what he was gonna say? Because he did weird shit my entire life. And I gaslit myself into thinking that maybe it wasn't weird because I didn't have a dad, so I didn't know what that relationship was really like. Okay, so I lived on the second story. He had to walk up 2 flights of stairs, knocked on my door. I'm sweating. Like, my anxiety, like, is so bad. I let him in. He sits down on one couch. Well, he's pacing a little bit, sits down on one couch. I'm sitting down on the other couch. And he's crying. And to think of, my adopted dad was born in the 60s. He was a country guy. He was like, you know how guys from the 60s are, how old dudes from the 60s are. So, like, I think I maybe saw him cry, like, once ever. So I thought he was having a mental breakdown, and he couldn't even speak. And I was like, say it. I was like, just say it. Say what you're gonna say. Like, almost coercing it out of him because I was afraid that he wasn't gonna say it, and I wanted to know what he was going to fucking say. I really should have recorded it, but...
How old was she at this time? She kind of started the video like in the middle of the situation, I guess, that's going on. But for you guys that haven't read the title, but basically her adoptive dad told her that he is in love with her. And I guess this is while she's older, this happened. I'm guessing this happened while she's older because she said that, you know, that she was at her own apartment and stuff like that. But that is so strange. This is not your blood child, but for you to take somebody in, call them your child, and even see them in a light of you're falling in love with them, to me, that is grooming, and that is just disgusting. Never really thought about the fact that some dudes are so creepy that they will adopt a kid, raise the kid, and then try to marry that same person they just raised, you know, because they're not blood. That is strange as behavior. And I would think there would be laws like against that. Like if you adopt a kid, you can't marry the kid or anything weird like that.
So he says, Laura, I'm in love with you. Look at me dead in the eyes with tears rolling down his fucking face. Knowing me, literally, I'm gonna have to show a picture of me whenever I was 6 years old. But I was like, he's known me since I was like as tall as my fucking knee. Oh, he's like, Laura, I'm in love with you. And I was like, oh, I love you too. And he's like, no, I mean, I'm in love with you. Like, I would love to marry you. I'm telling you, I'm freaking the fuck out in here. Bro. But it is also giving me clarification on everything that it has happened throughout my time knowing him since I was 6 years old. I blacked out after that. I fucking blacked the fuck out. I remember him asking me, because I lived like 5 or 6 blocks away from my childhood home that I grew up in. Fuck. I remember him asking me to dinner because it was the weekend. They were a horrible family, but one thing that they generally did was like Sunday dinners or whatever. So he asked me to dinner. And I'm sure I said like, yeah, or something like that. And then he walked out of my house and I locked every fucking lock on that door. And I went into my fucking bedroom and I locked that door and I hid under my blankets and I fucking sobbed my eyes out. I was like hyperventilating. I was like freaking out. I was in there for over an hour. before I was able to like do anything else than that. And I texted my sister. At the time I was married to a man. But anyway, I texted my ex-husband, and I was like, you're not gonna believe this. If you don't believe this, I'm gonna fucking leave you because this is fucked up. So I texted him everything, and before I gave him a chance to even read it or respond, I was like, no, fuck this, I need to talk to somebody. So I call him and I tell him every single fucking detail. Mind you, my ex-husband was not a good man either. That's another story, equally as traumatizing story. But anyway, I was on the phone with him, and he was just like, he's like, Laura, you must be confused. Like, imagine a man sticking up for another fucked up man. But he's like, Laura, you have to be confused. There's got to be some. And he knows my history with these people and my adopted dad. But he's literally like, no, you're confused. There's no way. I hang up on him. I call the most important person in my world, which is my little sister. And I tell her, and she's freaking the fuck out too, because she has fucked up experiences.
All right, so growing up.
But before we get into that, I found a way that y'all could make some side hustle money on your phones. But the only thing is that you have to play games on your phones. And I know that a lot of people do not like playing games on their phone and stuff like that. But this is an easy way to make some bread. Even if you only make an extra $100 or $200 a month, that could pay a couple bills just by playing games on your phone. And if you click my link in the description below or in the comments below, you could start out with a free $5. These companies are literally paying people just for y'all to play games on your phone. That is crazy. But just try it out. Go peep the games that they have. If you don't like it, hey, it is what it is. But I say it's worth a try.
In my foster home, basically, this was my room right here. You see that window right there? You see that room through that window? That was my room. You know what I'm saying? And I know y'all wondering, like, is the kitchen, like, can you see the room through the kitchen? Like, yeah, that's how they used to, spy on us and listen to our conversations at night and, just little weird stuff.
That's treating them like they're animals, like no privacy or nothing. Like, it's like a little window to just check on them like they're gerbils or something. You know what's crazy though? A lot of these foster parents, they actually get a stipend for adopting children. So it's not even that they actually care about the children. They just want to get the money that they're receiving to support the kids, but they're using it for themselves. It's truly sad what some kids have to deal with because they did not ask to be in this world.
Whatever, but yeah, that was my room. In this foster home, we had to actually use the bathroom. We couldn't just go to the bathroom and use it. We couldn't talk on the phones. We couldn't have friends over. We barely got to go outside. It wasn't no going in the refrigerator when you wanted something to drink or when you wanted something to eat. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even no asking, can you get something to eat or can you go get something to drink? Because you're not getting it until, you know what I'm saying, they want to give it to you. I remember one night, me and my brother, who was also in this foster home with me, this is my blood brother. I know, I want to say when we were smaller, they was talking about separating us, you know what I'm saying? And we ended up getting adopted where we was from, and these folks took us in or whatever. But I remember me and my brother was sitting on our bunk bed. Our bunk bed used to be right in front of that, you see that window right there? It used to be a bunk bed right there or whatever. It's a bigger room, like it's more space on the other end, but I just remember me and my brother and there talking one night, you know what I'm saying? We just really talking about, I wonder what our real mama, you know what I'm saying, doing. I wonder what our folks, you know what I'm saying, that they be thinking about us and if they be doing this and that, you feel me?
Wow.
I guess my foster parent, I ain't gonna say her name because I don't want to incriminate nobody or nothing, but I guess our foster mom was listening to us because she came in the room. She started yelling at us. Didn't I tell y'all supposed to be asleep and this and that, whoop the whoop. And she made us take our clothes off, stripped us down to our boxers, and she put us on the porch. Had to be probably about 30, 40 degrees outside. put us on the back porch until we learned our lesson. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the ways they punished us. They leave us out there for hours. You know what I'm saying? That was just one of the ways they punished us. But I'm just giving y'all an idea, you know what I'm
That
saying,
is
of
so sad.
the room I, you know what I'm saying, grew up in, and I'm just giving y'all a feel of the house.
Wow, I'm speechless. That is crazy that there's animals out there that are adopting kids just to treat them like that. Like, if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna do all that, leave them at the foster care shelter, man. If you're gonna do all that, there gotta be a better way to vet out these parents. That is disgusting. This is a great testament to you really don't know where people come from. You really don't know what people have been through. Like, some people, you could look at them and you think you know their story. You can judge them based off of what you see, but you never really know why somebody is the way they are or where they come from. Like, you don't know people's backgrounds. And again, this is why awareness is so important, to broaden your perspective. There are people that grew up in foster care that really got treated like animals.
Often when kids in foster care move from one placement to another, all of their belongings are put into a trash bag and sent with them. And it's degrading. It strips them of their humanity. It makes them feel like they're being thrown out like trash. I can't stop thinking about this kid that was in our care. The first time we went on a trip with them, I made sure that they had a suitcase that would be theirs. We knew that eventually they would be leaving our care, and I wanted to make sure that they had a suitcase so that when that happens, their things wouldn't be in a trash bag. They were with us for a long time, and then the day did come that they left our care. It came very suddenly. One day I was loving and caring for this kid, and then the next day they were gone. I didn't say the goodbye I would like to say because I didn't know that it was goodbye. And it's not like it was a forever goodbye. It's not like I would never see them again. But it definitely was a life-changing goodbye. And after we learned that they would not be coming back into our care, I remember getting the call from the social worker that they're on their way, that we needed to get their things together right now. So we filled their suitcase, we filled a second suitcase, a duffel bag, their backpack. We ran out of bags. And the social worker was 15 minutes away and stressing the urgency of getting all of their things to them right now. And all we had left were trash bags. I mean, I used heavy-duty construction bags as if the quality of the trash bags matters. I remember feeling defeated and crying as I put their clothes into trash bags. I just wanted them to know that they're a wonderful human being. They're worthy of love, and they're not disposable. They're not trash. They're not trash. It eats me up that the last thing that I gave them was their belongings in trash bags. I'm sorry.
Man, that gotta be tough, bro. Can you imagine taking care of a child, raising a child? I mean, I can have my homie's children for a couple of days because he's out doing something. You know, you really care for kids. Like, you really care for kids. So to adopt a child and to feel like this kid is mine, and they possibly just get taken away from you and you can't do nothing about that, the whole experience is so traumatic. But on the other side, it's like there's a good to it as well, because if the parents that brought them into the world aren't suitable parents, it's good that we can put them with parents that actually care about them. But then on the flip side, you have parents that are just in it for the money. Then these kids are bouncing from house to house. It's such a complicated thing when you think about it.
Why do white people adopt black children? It's a real question for me.
Adoption talk is getting messy, and I want to be messy too. I was adopted by a white family when I was 6 months old in 1997, before Google, before YouTube, before TikTok. One of the memories that sticks in my head is that my mom, my sweet white mom, spent 2 days learning how to braid my hair in box braids. She had to go to the library in the ski town that we lived in Colorado and had to request books and find the craziest resources on how to braid textured hair. She knew what was needed for my hair. She knew that I was different. She did see color. She didn't try to make me white, and even to this day, she's still listening and learning. I hear so much insane commentary surrounding adoption, and all of it lacks any sense of nuance. I think that the need for adoption alone is an injustice, because in a perfect world, there would be no need for people to be separated from their culture and their bloodline to have a better chance at life. It is a gift in an imperfect world, but it's a traumatic thing nonetheless, and some of you will never be able to wrap your minds around that. I cannot imagine where I'd be if my brother and I were not adopted. My family gave me the most beautiful childhood and provided me with access to a world where I truly believed that I could do anything with my life. So much so that I one day decided I wanted to move to France, and I did it. I think that my white parents did a great job and that I turned out all right. It's 2024. We need to stop with the narrow-minded idea that life can only work one way.
The more you broaden your perspective, the more you just appreciate the life that you had. And that is why I make a lot of these videos, man, is to give y'all perspective on what else is going on in the world, bro. Like, it's not just what you see on your street. It's not just what's going on the shade room. It's so much more going on in this world. So many different perspectives, and you think everybody's gonna think the way you think, but we all come from different domestications in life, you know. And just to see these stories of people that have been adopted, because growing up, when I think about somebody getting adopted, I think of that's like Christmas. You're sitting in a foster care place, you're waiting for somebody to come get you, so you're not at this facility. The story of once you leave that parking lot really is eye-opening when you hear these stories. So I really wanted to make this video for somebody's awareness. And I may even do a part 2 to this. To everybody that wanted me to do a part 2 to the Jason Wilson video that I did yesterday, I'll be posting that video later on today. It'll be me reacting to the rest of that interview. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that and watch the whole video, because it's going to be a long video. But anyways, y'all, it's been your boy Top Boogie. And like I always say, if you want to make some extra cash just playing some games on your phone, these apps are paying people to play games on your phone. That is crazy. All you got to do is click the link in the description below or the link in the comments below. If it ain't for you, it ain't for you. But if it is for you and you catch yourself making some money, make your money. Anyways, y'all, it's been your boy Top Boogie. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, turn on my post notifications, and don't forget to hit that hype button so we can push this video out to more people. Until next time, y'all, it's been your boy Top Boogie. I'm out of here, man. Peace.